He's a lifelong Wayne County resident. He's a father of 3. He's the owner of JC's Billiards just down the street. And he's a guy who is currently living into the dream of doing stand-up. So he's got a crowd. Jackson's crowd, where are you guys? He's got a crowd here tonight. So please welcome Jackson Cook.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Plug this in. Last time I was up here, this thing fell apart on me. So Ben asked me to do a story. He saw my open mic like last month. Asked me to do a story for him. I was like, all right, I'll do a story for you, you know. So I get down here. We sit over the table right there. Start talking. Everybody's telling their story just like this right here. And then I started to realize, like, my story is way, way more fucked up than any one of these stories. So, like, I was like, man, I was kind of nervous because it's a whole nother level of story. So they get done saying their stories and everything. Then I say my story. I get some laughs, stuff like that. I leave. Well, whenever I left, Ben messages me like 3 days later. He's like, hey, man, you want to meet down at Roscoe's? We'll go over your story and stuff. So I was like, that's cool. So we go down to Roscoe's. I'm sitting there. Ben walks in, gets a beer. He's sitting there, and when he's sitting on the chair, he's just kind of like sitting there, and I can see that he wants to say something, but he doesn't. Like it's like I don't know, like your dad's like wanting to say some shit to you, and he's like, man, I don't know. So like I start talking to him, just small talk, and I'm like, hey, you know, I want to start doing stand up. I start talking about the crowd, and like right when I say crowd, he's like, oh yeah, about the crowd. He's like, your stuff's funny and everything, but like I just don't know if it's gonna go over with that type of crowd. You know, I just don't know if it's gonna fit in. You might not get the laughs that you want, stuff like that. So I'm sitting there thinking in my head, I'm like, he did see my open mic, didn't he? I mean, my opening joke was about my best friend having sex with me. So like, I don't know exactly what type of story he was wanting from me. I was kind of shocked about it all. So I was like, well, you know, I'll try to calm it down or maybe think of a different story or something like that. So I go home, start thinking of my different stories, stuff like that. Sitting there thinking, I'm like, every one of my stories are fucked up, all of them. This is a mild story. This is like a 5 out of 10 scale of all my stories. So like I can either come in and say this story or make up another story and it's still gonna get shit. So like I'm just gonna go ahead and say my story. It's like it's more comedy. You know, I mean, comedy and music, it's like the same thing. Some people are gonna laugh at your jokes. Some people's not. Some people's gonna, you know, think certain stuff's funny. Some people isn't. That's just the way comedy is. So with that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and say my story. And here it is. So it's about my brother bringing home a stripper. So we're sitting at the house, hanging out, everything. I'm like, you know, what you want to do? He's like, man, I don't know, dude. Like, that's his favorite word is fucking dude anyway. He says dude like 5,000 times. He's like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, you want to go to a strip club? I'm like, you know, that sounds fun. Let's go. But my brother's always a broke ass, so I know right off the rip, I'm paying for everything. So that's one thing. So I was like, man, let's just go to the casino first, and then we'll go to the strip club. He's like, all right, that's cool. So we go to the casino. Go inside. I hand him $50. I have some money. He does his own thing. All of a sudden, I see him. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, I hit $500 fucking dollars. I was like, no, you didn't. He's like, yeah, dude, I hit 500. I was like, bet. Strip club's about to be lit. So like, I was like, dude, it's gonna be a time of our life. I was like, man, I'm gonna go take a piss real quick, get some drink. I said, I'll be back in a second. He's like, all right, cool. So I go take a piss. I come back. Bird's nowhere to be found. I'm just walking around like, where the hell is he? Like, I don't know where the hell he is. It's like 15 minutes goes by. I look over, and I see him coming out the high roller section. And I'm like, what the fuck's he doing in the high roller section? Like, this dude thinks he's a baller or something. I'm like, what's up, man? Let's go catch it. He's like, I had this feeling I was gonna hit. So I stuck my money in the machine, man. I lost it all. I was like, wait a second, you lost the $500 you had? He's like, yeah, man, I lost it. I was like, what in the fuck, man? Like, are you serious right now? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, let's just go to the strip club, forget this shit. So we're about to walk out. Every time I'm at a casino and I lose now, I instantly go over to the pop machine, like you get free pop, right? I instantly go over there and just stick my hand on all of them and just waste like $7 worth of fucking pop because that's the only way I can get over on the casino. So I'm just sitting there holding it down. People are walking by me and shit. I'm like, the CO2's out, you know what I'm saying? I'm working on the machines. I'm just pressing shit down just until I think it's enough that I fucked them over because they just took $700 off me. I'm just holding it down forever. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I think we're good. So I'm like, all right, man, let's go down. Let's go to the strip club. So we pull up to the strip club. Let me tell you about my brother first. All right, if you could think of the exact opposite of me, taller, the most redneck dude you can possibly think of in your entire life, that's my brother. Yellow teeth, chews tobacco, no shirt on, never, wore pants, never had boxers on, like free balled all the time. That's him, like always free balling every single time, everywhere he went. So this is my brother. So this is before we go into the strip club. I'm just trying to give you guys like a visualization of what the hell's going on. So we go into the strip club, go inside, I give him $50. He walks over to this stripper, and I see he's paying a lot of attention to her and shit. I'm like, whatever, you know. So he starts getting dances from her. I see him go in the back in the private room. That's like $25. I'm like, well, right there goes half his fucking money. Like, he's done. So he comes out, and when he comes over to me, he's like, look, man, dude, she wants me. Like, she likes me, man. Like, we're going to hang out. And I was like, bro, shut up, Bird. She does not want your ass. Trust me. She wants our money. My fucking money, for one. She wants all of it. He's like, nah, man, she likes me. She wants to hang out. She wants to do. I was like, shut up, dude. She does not want you. And at this point, I'm getting pissed off. So I'm like, all right, man, wait right here. So I wait. And at this point, I'm pissed. So I'm like, all right, Bird, here you go, man. So I was like, wait right here. So I go down. I sit in a chair, right? And I put this dollar on my head, and I see her coming towards me. I close my eyes and shit, and then all of a sudden, all I see is glitter and titties just bouncing all over me and shit. And the whole time, I'm just yelling at Bird like, Bird, she wants me too, man, look. She likes me, look, man, she wants me. And then, like, I look over at him, and he's irate at this point. He's like, man, fuck you and all this stuff. I was like, look, dude, she just wants your money. That's all it is, bro, trust me. So at this point, it's getting later in the evening. I see him walk back over to her. Well, when he walks back over to her, I know he doesn't have any money at this point, so he's over there talking to her, spitting game or whatever. He comes back over. He's like, man, she wants to come to the house with us. And I was like, she does not want to come to the house with us. There's no way you just got a stripper. She does not want to come to the house with this. He's like, no, I'm serious, man. She wants to come to the house. So at this time, she comes over and introduces herself. She's like, hi, my name's Diamond. Or maybe she said Jessica, but I called her Diamond the entire weekend. So, like, she comes over and introduces herself, and I'm like, well, screw it, man. Let's roll a house. I live in Centerville. So we mash out. We get in the car, and we're on 70, right? And it was right when that song came out, that T-Pain song. It was like, I'm in love with the stripper. I played that shit on repeat all the way to the house. So I get to the house, right? And I go to bed. I wake up, and I'm like, man, this shit has to be a dream. Wake up, go in the living room, not a fucking dream. There she is, hugged up with Jason, just chilling. I'm like, holy shit, dude. So at this point, I'm like, I gotta call my fucking buddies. I'm like, and I had an old-ass flip phone, so I was like trying to text them, and you had to fucking hit the buttons like, man, there is a stripper in my, you guys get the fucking point. There's a stripper in my house, man. So, like, everybody's like, cool. So it's Sunday. The Colts are playing. Dude, it was awesome. So, like, but this is what's messed up. She was, like, a really cool chick. Like, she spent all the money I spent on her back on us. She was, like, buying us pizza and shit and buying beer and buying all kinds of shit. And, like, my buddy Matt was there or whatever. Like, she gave him, like, $20. She was like, will you buy me some nose spray? And fucking, like, he goes down to CVS. She's like, keep the change. I think she was, like, getting, like, cocaine out of her nostril or some shit. I'm not a judgmental guy or whatever. I was like, whatever. So, like, she's hanging out with, like, the whole weekend just chilling. So I was like, this is insane. So next day, I work in Dayton. So I'm like, all right, we got to take her back at this point. So we drive. So we get in the car. We drive to Dayton. And and she's like really nervous. I was like, she's like, I live on Gettysburg. If you guys know Gettysburg and Dayton, that's the hood. Like, I was like, man, we're about to get shot. I was like, I ain't dropping your ass off of your house. I'll drop you off like a block over. So we pull up, and she gets out the car. And at this point, this dude's running towards me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? He comes up, and the only thing he keeps saying is like, man, I want my $200. And I was like, fuck you mean? She had a pimp. I did not know she had a pimp. He was wanting $200 because we kept her for the whole weekend. I was like, this is real shit. Like, I was like, I didn't even do anything. It was my brother for one. Like, I ain't doing nothing. He was like, I'm for real. He's like, I want my $200. I was like, look, dude, I ain't got no money on me or whatever. I'll go to the ATM, come back. Fucking zoom, fucking took off. That's the last time we ever seen her, right? So that's it. That's my story. Never judge a book by its cover. You could pull a stripper and have fucked up teeth and everything. So